Today on Can Haz Armory, how to properly do the epee and foil gauge test. Use this epee thing, but occasionally happens in foil, and you gotta know how to do it correctly. Okay, so sometimes when we're at events in the Armory, either regional or a national event, we'll get a call from the refs in the texting system. We'll say, like, strip D4, bring the bucket. And now what it means is they want us to bring the gauge, typically the epee gauge, because they think they have a guard or weapon where the grip has been bent so much over it's out of compliance. So the rules are M9, this is for foil. The guard must be able to pass through a straight cylindrical gauge having a diameter of 12 centimeters and a length of 15 centimeters. The blade being parallel with the axis of the cylinder, meaning it has to be parallel to this right here. So through the long axis of the cylinder. Eccentric mounting is forbidden. That is to say, the blade must pass through the center of the guard, which they'll do. No one has a foil guard where the tang holes off center. The diameter of the guard must be between 9.5 and 12 centimeters, which is why this is 12 centimeters. M5 also reads, the grip must not include any device which can increase in any way the protection afforded to the hand or wrist of the fencer by the guard. A crossbar or electric socket which extends beyond the edge of the guard is expressly forbidden. The crossbar means an Italian grip, which no one uses anymore. The electric socket, realistically, that only means the French socket because how it's designed, it can be bent out to the point where it sticks out beyond the guard. German socket doesn't bend that way, nor is it on Paul. That's pretty much there for those two there. The epee, same thing for epee, although it's a 13.5 centimeter diameter thing here. So here you go. So how you do the test? Well, typically we have this these things like at nationals. It's like mine is mounted in an old cat sand bucket. It's in the lid, and you see, put it on the floor. Take the weapon, hold it vertically. I hold it by the tips and hang straight and put it down through. It must pass through all the way. And most armors will go through to the bottom and then pull it back up, see if the guard catches down here and pulls it up. If it catches or doesn't go through, it doesn't pass. It's going to be confiscated by the ref. It's a penalty card. It is, as I think I've said before, it is most prevalent in French grip epees. I know some guys who, will ride right on the ragged edge, be like, a couple millimeters of space, but it still passes. Less so in foil, although today's example, I do have a foil that's out of spec, so let's look at that. Okay, so here we have the epee gauge, as is in the cat sand bucket. I have an epee here that does pass. So 13.5 centimeter gauge, I'm holding it by the tip, by the point, is going straight down, straight through, down to the bottom. So the guard's actually past the bottom of the gauge, and that passes. That's good. Put the foil gauge in, and let's see. Here is one that does pass. Again, holding by the tip. You can see it's plenty of room there, and then that passes. This one, however, does not pass. Behold. So you can see how the bottom part of the grip there is pushing off to the side, and then it hits the gauge. Now, can I make it go through? Sure. I can get on an angle and work it around, but that's not how it works. If all the way down there, if I pull it back up, it's going to pull the gauge with it. Okay? So it must go in line with the axis, and this one does not, so that needs to be fixed. Okay, so that's how we use the gauge to check the grips if they think they're offset. Who can ask for the test? The referee, if he suspects a grip. The opposing fencer can ask for it. Opposing fencer's coach will probably tell his fencer to ask for it. That's it. If they get the call, we go out and check it. We do not do this test in control. at domestic events. We used to. Did it in 2015 Nationals. We actually ran every French grape epi through a gauge. I had one, and there's one in the Nationals crate. And I think they stopped doing it probably because there's too many people doing it, because it slows the line down. FIE events are different, though. FIE event, you will go through the Gabarret, which tests a bunch of different parameters of the weapon, including the gauge. Now, the FIE tournaments. If a weapon goes through the Gabarret and it passes, the weapon is marked. When I did the pentathlon on Palm Springs in 2009, I had an engraver. I passed through the gauge. I marked P9 back in the shoulder, engraved on it, so it can be wiped away. The refs then saw that, knew, okay, this weapon's been checked, this weapon is legal. If, after that time, after control, during fencing, the weapon is found to have now been bent to be out of compliance, ref's going to show you two things. Number one is this. Number two is the door. Because that is manifest cheating with equipment, you are gone. Please do not do that. Fence in the context of the rules. Don't overbend the tang. If you're not sure, find an armor. If you're in LA or Orange County or whatever, talk to me. I'll be happy to come down and check it out. I usually have it in my car. If it's not at the table, it's in my van if I'm working at an event locally. If you have a regional or a national event near you, if you're not sure, take it over. And that's how you check the guards to make sure that they pass the gauge. As always, happy armoring.